Yeah, coming at me like that, like whoa. I don't even feel like that, like whoa. You ain't even see my stacks, like whoa. We up on the sea, but that's my bow. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like wish that I care, but I don't. And I swear, if you want, we can flow. Coming ready for the smoke. Murder she wrote, but I don't even dare. I got places to go. Coming ready for the show. Sacred the goat. We got royal affairs. We gon' win on the low. Coming ready for the glow. You taking notes, have a seat, take a chair. You may think that we cold. Coming ready for the snow. Try to bear the weight, but it's too heavy. Try to get away, but it's too deadly. Gotta keep it sharp, so we stay edgy. Can I get ahead, so we stay ready? Coming at me, that's sad, that's joke. I cannot believe these lies, I'm woke. All that agree, but why?
Yo, what up, fam? What's good? What's good, Casey? D2H, what up? What's up, Eric?
When I get paid, I gotta know people to pay, places to go. Watch what you say, watch what you. Coming at me like that, like whoa. I don't even feel like that, like whoa. You ain't even see my stacks, like whoa. We up on the sea, but that's my bow. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like rabbit said back. I'ma go and get that. I just wanna give back. People call me Big Black. I just got my whip back. Asked me when I got here, told her that I've been back. Brought a couple wins back, double cup of no act. I don't really have beef, but I'm still a Big Mac. And you know I got green. Now we bridging the gap flow with me and my team, cause we know how to scrap when you making a scene. Came up from the dirt. Yeah, I know my worth. No, I will not sell. Niggas gotta work. Do not kiss and tell. No, I do not serve. But I'll ride these waves. So get up off my turf. I actually soar over these waves. When I get paid, I gotta know people to pay, places to go. Watch what you say, watch what you. Coming at me like that, like whoa. I don't even feel like that, like whoa. You ain't even see my stacks, like whoa. We up on the sea, but that's my bow. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Coming at me like that, like. Hey. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Coming at me like that, like whoa. Yeah. Coming at me
All
like
right,
that, like,
beaches.
whoa. I don't even feel like that, like, whoa.
Yeah,
You ain't
let's
even see
do
my stacks, like,
this.
whoa. We up on the sea, but that's
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 1109 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and is a slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What is up, ya beaches? What's going on? It's your boy Papa Sleazio, Papa Swolio, Sleazio, McSleazio, Leoliolis. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, fam? What's good? Welcome to episode 1109. Thanks for joining me live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. And thanks for banging your ear holes with old Papa Ganio over on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Play, Castbox, Swolebox, Your Box, our, who knows, whatever you're listening, thank you. What up? What's good? What's good? Fruit? You like fruit? You like carbs? This guy likes carbs. What is up, beaches? What's good? What's up, brah? Do you even lift? Occasionally. I feel like sometimes I don't lift because I want to go to the gym more. I need to make it to the gym more often. No, I do pretty good. It's really hard. It's hard to get it in, man. It's hard for me, just like you. Just like all of you. It's hard to get it in, but you got to do it. You got to do it. Either you do it or you don't. It's very simple. Either you get it done or you don't get it done. And if you're debating about whether or not you should go, you should probably go. If you're thinking, maybe I should go to the gym, maybe I should get my workout in, maybe I should pump today, you probably should. If you're thinking about it, you're not sure, you probably should. That's probably the sign. That's probably the sign. If you're not sure, go. If you're not sure, go do it. Those of you that are Swolenormous X members, we do have our accountability meeting at 12 noon. So this is going to be a straight into the Point podcast. We're going to jam some summer, sprint for summer, brand new YouTube video over on my YouTube channel about summer dieting and weight loss for summer, and that kind of old fucking running around the Christmas tree, so to speak. I know it's summer, so it's not really a good analogy, but that whole process of flushing out water and trying to lose weight fast so you look good in a bikini. That's what's always fascinating to me about weight loss diets, about trying to lose weight for a specific thing. I want to lose weight for this. I'm trying to lose weight for summer. When you start to lose weight for summer, or you approach your training like I'm losing weight for summer, what happens? What happens? You start doing that every fucking year because you associate summer with weight loss, summer with shredding, summer with cutting, summer with eating less food and flushing out water weight. Like, you're doing this cyclically. You should not be gaining and getting fucking fat as hell in the winter and then trying to cut it all for summer. Now, this is kind of a normal process for humans, though. It's kind of normal process where you have longer days in the summer, you're hunting, you're gathering food, and you're packing on calories, and you're consuming because winter is scarce. So kind of like bears hibernate, humans, we have to try to gather food and put food away and prepare for winter. But it depends on what climate you live in, because if you live in a warmer climate, you don't have those periods where everything freezes over and you don't have vegetables or you don't have fruits available. You don't have things that are in season that you can consume. So it's normal for a human body, and it's always happening. Whether you're cutting or you're gaining, you're always kind of adding calories and losing calories. Your body is very dynamic. So for us stupid brains, right, for people that need it to be simplified, we think of it as, oh, I'm losing, oh, I'm gaining. Your body is always in a constant exchange of energy. You're always consuming, digesting. There's so many moving parts. There's so many different aspects of human physiology that go on all the time, every day. And there's so many variables, which is why some people struggle with weight loss and some people it seemingly comes easier, but everyone's different genetically. Everyone's habits are different. And there are so many different variables in an individual's day. Are you in a good mood? Like, where's your mental state at? How active are you throughout the day? In addition to your exercise, how much sleep do you get? How much water do you get? What's your what's your diet, your dietary intake like? What are all those little tiny subtle habits that add up? And that's where a lot of people get caught when they start adding calories and they start calculating and quantifying how much they're eating during the day. They start adding up all the little times that they're snacking and those kind of background consumptions where you get in a car and you eat a protein bar and you never add that up as your calories because, oh, it's a low calorie protein bar. It's just a snack. And you don't add in the snack in terms of your total calories, and you don't realize that you're having this drink over at Starbucks and you're having a protein bar, and over the course of your day, you're getting in 300, 400, 500 extra calories. You're doing that every day. So you're gaining a pound a week, or you're gaining a pound every couple weeks. And these things kind of add up, and we lose track of all these little subtle variations in each individual's diet. So asking questions, and it's great because I love the podcast and I love the questions on Instagram, and I love, on Facebook and YouTube, and all these questions are good. There aren't necessarily bad questions, but there are lazy questions and there's vague questions. So when you ask a question about weight loss for summer, hey, I'm trying to lose the last few pounds around my stomach. First off, you don't know exactly how your body is storing fat. You don't know all the details of what's going on. You just observe, hey, there's a little bit more size here. I want this gone. And then you ask that question, and it's hard for someone like myself or any professional to answer because with that vague question, I don't know everything that's going on. I don't know what you would change. It's hard to tell someone, whoever's listening, whoever's watching, it's hard to tell you what to do when I don't know what you're currently doing. And even if you explain a couple things that you're doing, hey, I'm lifting weights 3 times a week and I'm eating really healthy, but I can't get rid of that extra little bit of body fat. That's vague as fuck. What does eating healthy mean to you? What does that mean for your caloric intake? How tall are you? How much do you weigh? How much lean mass do you have? What foods are you consuming? What are you doing for training? Are you pushing hard enough? There's so many different other things that will factor into what that answer could possibly be. So a lot of the answers are just, you can't give a specific answer to a vague question because it doesn't necessarily apply. But a lot of times it comes down to you not working hard enough. It comes down to not working hard enough. It comes down to not training hard enough. It comes down to not being as consistent as you think you're being with fitness, with your nutrition, with your training. And the problem with this sprint for summer, this mentality that summer's coming, I need to lose weight. I understand why. It's because you're going to be wearing less clothes. You're wearing t-shirts and shorts again. If you live in a warm climate like Florida, like I do, you're wearing shorts and a t-shirt pretty much all year round. So you would think that would make people healthier in warmer climates. But if you've ever been to a warm climate or somewhere in the United States that's warm climate, you realize that's not the case. People are fucking even fatter in warm climates. It seems like people are even fatter, or fat everywhere, but people are just as fat in Mississippi and Alabama and down here in Florida than they are anywhere, especially in cold weather climates where you think, hey, people are just going to bundle away and hide in a cave and just fucking eat. People are fat everywhere. So why is that? We're programming ourselves to thinking that there's certain times of the year to get shredded. And because of that, we allow other times of the year for us to not get shredded. And getting shredded is really like, that's a real extreme word. When we say shredded, we use the term shredded as if that's a common thing. Yeah, shredding for summer shred. I throw that term around a lot too because it has that cut to it. Shred. It means like cut. You're fucking cutting that fat off. You're really getting lean. But that's an extreme. That's like when you go on stage, you get shredded. When you go on a stage, you get shredded. What you want to do is you want to lose body fat. You want to be healthier. The average person, which is you, we are all the average person. None of us are fucking top level competitors. And if you are, good for you. This might not apply to you. But for all of us that want to get leaner, we're trying to get leaner, but we want to maintain that. You want to maintain something all year round. Aren't you tired of going through these extremes? Aren't you tired of having to go through a fucking cut? Doesn't it get exhausting trying to psychologically wrap your head around this period of time when you're going to restrict yourself and work extra hard and get really lean for what? So you can go drink alcohol on the beach and gain the weight back? You can be lean all year round. You can. Now, when you say, well, if you're lean all year round, then you're taking steroids, that's not true. When you're huge, when you're massively ripped and shredded to the bone all year round, that's cause for concern. That raises some eyebrows because you're not going to maintain that type of muscle mass and stay that lean without assistance because the body doesn't like to have body fat percentages that low. That's not natural for the body. That's not comfortable for the body. When your body is really, really lean and depleted and fucking really dry, that's not normal for the body. In other words, that's not comfortable. That's not your body's sweet spot. That's not the zone that your body likes to be in. That's kind of a starvation state. Your body likes to have money in the bank. Your body likes to have body fat. Now, it doesn't want to have necessarily excessive body fat, but that's why we have body fat percentages. You have that range where you could be, let's say 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, depending if you're male or a female. Women, your numbers are going to be higher relative to a man's because it's natural for a woman to have a greater body fat percentage, for comparable physique. So you're going to look maybe comparable to someone, a guy who's 16, 70% body fat. A woman, you might be 20, 21, 22. So because we are skewed, we use different language. Language is very powerful. When you use the word shredded, that means fucking dry, ripped on stage. I'm on a cover. This is my best Instagram picture ever. When we use those words casually, we are mixing extreme, hard fucking work, like a lifelong approach, a lifetime of fucking training and experience, and we're just throwing that into, hey, a 6-week shred. You're not going to shred in 6 fucking weeks. You're not going to shred in 8 weeks. You're not going to shred in 90, what did I say? In 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks? I was going to say 90 weeks. Like, holy shit, 2 years? I meant 90 days. So, for example, my programming, a lot of you that are in Swolenormous X that listen into this, I have the 90-day dash program as the starter foundation framework program, but we have tons and tons of workouts because it goes beyond the 90 days. We get started with reformulating your concept of how you should be training, focusing on active recovery with resistance training. And that's a 90-day framework that's fully customizable. But that's why we have the workout archive and the program vault. And that's why we continue with the yoga studio and the Swole classes. That's why we talk about it like this. And for those of you that are members of Swolenormous X, that's why it's designed like that, because it's just the first 90 days. It's just the beginning of the rest of your journey. It's that customizable section. It's that period of relearning and reclaiming your fitness and reclaiming your health and learning what you should have learned from the beginning, what you should have always known. How about that? What you should have always known about food, what you should have always known about training, how you should have been keeping it simple your whole fucking life. It's hard to unlearn things. It's really hard to unlearn things. It's much easier to be like, oh, I'm fresh, let me learn. It's not easy to unlearn. It's very hard to unravel some of these principles, which is why a lot of them cut home really deep and are very sensitive issues. And a lot of you have trouble grasping them and sticking to them because you're unlearning things that have been imprinted into your brain about calories, about macros, about following a plan. And if you don't follow this plan, you're wrong. It's like doing a test. We're taught in school, if you get this grade, that's the right answer. If you put this answer down, you get a good grade. If you put this answer down, you get a bad grade. This is right, this is wrong. And then we go out in the real world with life and we realize, oh shit, life isn't like that. Life isn't right or wrong. There are certain laws that we have to abide by, but there's a lot of things in life that's complete gray area. So we're taught growing up that there is right and wrong, and there are good answers and wrong answers. That's it. That's what we're taught. That's what we are taught. We are taught this is correct, this is wrong. And then we go out into the real world and we realize, oh shit, it's just complete gray area. Aside from the laws, don't kill people, don't steal, it's gray area. You can do what you want. You can literally do what you want. You can create your life. You can create your fitness. So we have all these rigid frameworks, but you really can break out of all of those. There's no rule saying that you can't build muscle with high repetitions. There's no rule that says you can't build muscle with low repetitions. I mean, you can build muscle with all types of repetitions, with all types of overload, with all types of equipment, with bands, with cables, with dumbbells, with barbells. There are certain principles that I believe that people should be approaching when you're getting into fitness. Certain things have been tried and true and that work, but there are a lot of things that do work, and there are a lot of things that can work. And that's right. We call it Dixie 92. We're always binary. We're always binary. 1 or 0. That's what binary is. 1 or 0. It's like binary code. So we're always, is this right or is this wrong? This is good. This is bad. And I try to catch myself because sometimes I say things, I look back or I'm editing a video, I'm thinking, I shouldn't have said good or best because I don't like those words. What's good and what's bad? What's right and what's wrong? And what's right for one person might not be right for someone else. Maybe the way one person does something might psychologically fuck another person up. So if you have a cheat meal, some of you, we talk a lot about cheat meals. When I say fuck your cheat meals, it doesn't mean that you can't have a cheat meal. It doesn't mean that I will never have a cheat meal the rest of my life. I mean, my cheating is different than your cheating. And maybe I will have a piece of pizza again in the future. Like, I don't hold myself away from it. I just don't gravitate towards it. So for example, if one person has a cheat meal and they love it and they're getting amazing results, they feel good, everything checks out, they feel fantastic, someone else might have or schedule that in a cheat meal once a week, but that might send them off on a binge, and one day leads to 2 days to 3 days, and it takes them fucking months to get back on the fucking train. So obviously one person, that might be a good decision. The other person, fuck no, it's not. So it's really hard to say that it's bad for everyone, and it's really hard to say that it's good for everyone or should be allowed. It's much better to approach it as, you don't deserve it. What's the reason for it? Why are you doing it? Do you understand what you're doing? Do you understand what you're telling yourself? Do you understand that you're responsible for the outcomes? Don't be in denial of what you're doing, and then you have the right information, and then you can make better decisions. If you have the right information, you can make better decisions. You can make better decisions about your body. You can make better decisions about your diet if you understand how certain foods interact with your body. If you realize and you learn by doing an elimination diet, by figuring this shit out, you realize my body reacts better when I eat these foods, A, B, and C. If you go out and you eat foods F, G, and H, you realize, well, and then you feel like shit, you know why you feel like shit. You feel like shit because you should have been eating foods A, B, and C, and you ate F, G, and H, and you fucking, damn it. I know I fucked up. I knew it going into it. I knew I shouldn't have had it. It's been a while. I forgot how bad it fucks me up, but I know what I did. I knew what I did when I was doing it, and I fucked up, but you have to take responsibility for that. There are too many people out there that are feeling victimized by the industry. oh, but they tell me this, oh, but there's so many temptations, but there's fast food everywhere, but the supermarkets, but this, but that, but nothing. It's your choice. What are you doing? You're putting the food in your fucking mouth. You're putting the food in your mouth. You're eating the food. No one's forcing you to eat that. You're going to the store and you're making choices and you're choosing those things. You're going home. You're putting them in your pantry. You're putting them in your fridge and you're fucking eating them. And that's it. You are eating them. That's it. You are doing it. No one else. So take responsibility for that. And sprinting for summer, doing crash diets, crash challenges, trying to go fast for summer. What does that do? What does that mean for the rest of the year? It gives you this concept that you shouldn't be taking care of your health at other times of the year. There's no reason why you can't be leaning out in the winter. There's no reason why you can't be taking care of your health around Christmas time. There's no reason why you can't be eating healthy in October or November. Look, what does that have to do with anything? Oh, but I'm traveling. I'm going to families' houses. So what? So what? What does that have to do with anything? So what if you're going, okay, so you're going to family places. Great. You're going to see family. Okay. So what? You're going to see family. Eat healthy. Bring your food. Go shopping. Make certain things. You have the ability to do that. You have the ability to do that. You have money. You have the facilities. You have the common sense. You know what you need to do. You don't have to unplug. Don't use it as an excuse. If you allow excuses, you can make excuse about anything in the world. Making an excuse is the easiest thing to do. It's the easiest thing to do because there's so many reasons why you can justify something. There's so many reasons you could tell someone else and the person you're telling doesn't care. You have to care. You have to care more than someone else because no one else is going to give a shit. They're going to be a shoulder to cry on. They're going to agree with you. They're just going to nod their head and say, yeah, I agree. Yeah, you only live once. Or yeah, no, you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, let go, relax. Because the reason why they're allowing that or they're accepting of you slacking or they will support you is because they don't give a fuck. They are not you. They don't give a shit. Maybe they feel good because it gives them more justification to do the same thing. That's why a lot of people support falling off your diet or they give you a hard time for bringing your food places because they don't want to do it. They see you and they don't want to see what they are not doing. So they kind of try to guide you off track. Maybe not intentionally, but they don't want you to be the embodiment of where they're falling short. And if you're always focusing on summer being a weight loss thing and summer being when you shred, summer is when you cut down, summer is when you get shit done in this manner, you're associating all the other times of the year. They're not for being lean. They're not for taking care of your body. They're not for being healthy. They're not for, health. And that's not the reality of it. We don't have to be like that anymore. We don't have to succumb to that kind of cycle. And that kind of cycle just keeps us in this fucking wheel. We have to get out of this system. We have to get out of the system of using summer for getting lean just because it's a little bit warmer outside. You should be in a healthy state all year round. You're not trying to step on stage. And if you're listening to this and you are trying to step on stage, then take this for what it's worth. And you're already doing your own thing. Whatever I say is not going to affect you because you have to do specific things if you're competing. But if you're the average person, which 99.9% of you listening are, you don't need to be in competition shape. You don't need to go through these fucking process of bulking up and getting shredded and cutting. What do you want overall? If you have to put on muscle, then lift and cut. Don't try to fucking cut and lean out and then bulk up. Everyone's trying to, I want to shred down first. If you don't have that muscular framework and you don't have that lean mass, what are you cutting down to? You're just going to look like skin and bones. Lift weights, put on muscle, keep your calories limited, right? Don't overeat. Keep your protein quantities, decent. You don't have to overeat protein. Eat quality foods and keep training hard. Keep training hard. Focus on building muscle, but don't overly intake your calories. You'll build muscle and you'll get rid of extra body fat. You'll get rid of extra water weight and you'll flush those things out by making better choices with your nutrition. All you're doing every year is you're going through this cyclical bulking, cutting. You're giving yourself a yearly excuse. You're allowing yourself to fall into this routine of what everyone else is doing. What everyone else is doing, you're following everyone else. You're following the marketing. You're following the bullshit. Now, you've probably seen stuff that I put out. I talk about summer. I talk about start for summer. Absolutely. But when I approach fitness and I'm promoting Swolenormous X and I'm telling you about starting your fitness training and your nutrition now, start for summer, start today, it's because people psychologically break up the year into seasons. There's 4 seasons. There's winter, there's spring, summer, and there's fall in most places. So today is as good a day as any. Start today. I don't care. It just happens to be, okay, the beginning of summer. Sure, start for summer, start for fall, start for winter. Just start. I mean, I'll say the same thing in the fall. Start for fall, start for winter, start now. Every year around the holidays, fuck your resolutions. That's going to come up really soon. I'm going to start raging on resolutions again. It's going to come. It's going to happen every fucking year. Every fucking year we'll bring back the greatest of Papa Swole raging about resolutions and raging about the holidays. Ever since we started the podcast, it's been every fucking year. It'll come around and I'll go off on my rants about making excuses for the holidays and justifying stuffing your face with shit. It happens. Summer happens every year. Winter happens every year. It happens. It keeps on coming and coming back and coming back. The question is, are you going to stay stuck in the rut? Are you going to stay stuck in the mire? Are you going to stay in the swamp and keep on dealing with this shit? So don't forget to check out today's YouTube video. Very similar to today's topic, very similar to what we're talking about if you haven't caught it yet, but it's short and to the point. So I highly recommend that. It's over on my YouTube channel at Swolenormous, and talks about summer diets and summer challenges and put some nuts on your chin. So if you're not subscribed over there on YouTube, highly recommend it. You know what? I don't even recommend it. That's an order. Go fucking subscribe on YouTube if you ain't already. For shame if you're not already. And in just a few minutes, we'll be wrapping up. We got the accountability meeting here. Excuse me. With Swolenormous X members. So yeah, you can learn more about that if you're interested in joining the fam over at swolenormousx.com. Ooh, coffee's coming back up. No, wait. Okay, that was just a hiccup. Good. I was like, oh my God, no, I don't want to lose coffee. Anyway, so last night, Game of Thrones is over. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but it's not gonna spoil it. There's nothing to spoil. There's nothing to spoil. Oh well, ain't nothing to spoil for anyone. Just watching the episode will spoil it for you. I thought it was well shot, though. I just don't like the writing of the season. I think the structure was missing, but it was filmed very well. Had a cheat meal last Thanksgiving. Never went back to where I was. Definitely disappointed. It's just like when you allow yourself to skip just one workout. It's easy to do it just once, multiple times. Yo, I agree. Every time you skip something that you promise yourself, if you say you're going to work out today, like for me, for a moment, I was like, I could take a day off. I can work out later. If you put it off or you make that excuse to not work out today or not get it done today for whatever reason, all of a sudden you give yourself the leeway to make an excuse again. Every time you make an excuse, it makes the next excuse easier to execute. It makes it easier for you to push off something else. It makes it easier for you to say, oh, next time, I'll just do it tomorrow. Last time I just did it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow this time. And, I can just put it off till tomorrow. I can wait, or I can take, and then you just kind of really lean back and you really let go of the reins, and then it can get out of control. Winter jackets allow you to hide. Savage. I went to the doctor's on Friday, had some blood work done. Everything came back normal. The only thing that was low was my HDL. How can I get those numbers up? I would focus on healthy fats. What's really low? I would do some more research on cholesterol. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not an expert, but a lot of what they test in terms of like regular blood tests don't break down all the true aspects of cholesterol. There are many different types. So I would look into that a little bit more. Blood work is very, very sketchy, to be honest, because a blood work, and everyone can drop their comments below. I know we have like a lot of nurses and people in the medical industry. When you're doing your blood work, you're just getting a snapshot of that moment in that time. whether or not you fasted before you got your blood work done. Let's say you did it today. Okay, Monday, 9 a.m. or Friday. It's just like what you were on Friday at that time. Your body changes throughout the day. Things fluctuate throughout the day, every day. So depending on what time of day, what day of the week, your things might look different. So it's very hard to just think when you go to the doctor, let's say you go once a year to get blood work done. So your entire year is going to be mapped out because of one picture. Think about taking a picture on Instagram. You take a picture and how you look on one day. You look at that picture a year ago. Would you say you looked exactly the same, or your haircut was exactly like, think of how much different you look in that moment than you did a year ago. If you just took a picture, you would look very different. And what you're doing today might not be based on exactly what you would have done a year ago on that day for anything in your schedule or your life. It's just a very small window that you're kind of glimpsing, and you're freezing it in time. And for me, it has to be something more frequent if you're going to change your entire nutrition and diet around it. I cringe at the thought of what summer sprinting does to your body year after year. It's more it's the mentality as much as anything. It depends on how lean you are. If you're let's say you're holding a little extra body fat and you want to drop a couple, you want to just kind of lean out a little bit more, and you're tweaking a little bit because summer's coming up, that makes more sense. But when we talk about summer shredding, a lot of people are nowhere near that point of, hey, I'm just going to tighten up. I'm going to cut my carbs a little bit and up my workout intensity a little bit and drop maybe like 2 or 3 pounds. Like that's where it should be. If you're doing something, if you're in that kind of mindset where you want to look extra lean, right? You adjust a couple little things and you lose enough as you need to, but that's because you're right there already. You don't want to do, a 6 week and you have 20, 30, 40 fucking extra pounds. That's not the time. Everyone has this idea that you're going to lose so much in a short period of time. If you maintain a proper physique all year round, if you want to make those tweaks and those adjustments, all you do is you make those tweaks and adjustments. And it's very simple. You just kind of bloop, flip a switch, and you change your dieting a little bit and your nutrition a little bit, cut the calories a little bit. And then over the course of a couple of weeks, then you drop some extra water weight and stuff. And that's the way it should be done. It should be done on a smaller scale, not this like macro, hey, I'm trying to lose 20 pounds or 30 pounds for summer. You need to lose 30 pounds, period, let alone for fucking summer. You don't want that on you anytime, let alone just because the sun's out a little bit more. I lean out in winter to be ready for summer. I usually eat and drink more in the summer cookouts and trips. Yeah, well, do what you got to do. Be careful with all that. Don't overdo it. Spoiled for sure. The writers spoiled it enough. It was just rushed. It was rushed. Do you think you can build muscle in a calorie deficit? Not really. It's very challenging. Maybe if you have like perfect protein intake and perfect training and everything is managed down to the detail, it's just not an ideal situation for your body. It depends also, I would say, on how much extra your body has on you. You know what I mean? In terms of how much extra body fat. I think it depends on the individual and a lot of other factors that are really hard to micromanage. Most people are very bad at math and very bad at adding and subtracting and keeping things on track, let alone trying to accurately measure, I'm gaining this much. Like, you have to have access to underwater weighing and DEXA scans and shit like that and be doing it weekly or like really accurately. Be super consistent and diligent with that stuff to really know. I'm not saying that no one's ever done it otherwise, but everyone's trying to get everything at the same time. It's going to be a real slow creep, and is it worth it? I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's the right approach for performance and for really, making progress as fast as you can. If you're trying to make progress, as fast as you can properly, I don't think it's the best approach. You don't need to be that's another thing. People think they have to overeat so much to be in a caloric surplus. No, you could put on muscle. You just need a caloric surplus. You don't need it to be 10,000 calories over, and you don't need to cut. You don't need to be 2,000 calories under your expenditure. You just need to be consistent. You need to be getting enough food, and you only need a couple hundred either way. 500 maybe. It depends on the person, but it depends on how much you're trying to lose or how much you're trying to gain or what the process is. But you're not going to do like a massive whole long bulking. You can stay relatively lean doing it, but to be in a literal deficit and build muscle. I mean, I don't want to live by that kind of scale or whatever that fucking entails. Sounds miserable. So a couple things. Go check out the new article on the Gain Train blog, and you can subscribe to the Gain Train blog at swolenormousx.com, and you'll get notified when there's new articles that drop. New one on the elimination diet, so go check that out, and also the brand new YouTube video. Do not miss that one. You're gonna love it. It's just like this episode, and I really appreciate the support. Hit the like button, subscribe over there on YouTube if you haven't already, and brand new video on Facebook and Instagram. A new IGTV video. So go give that a look-see and drop a comment. Give me a follow over on Instagram as well. And check out my stories and answer those sticker stories when I post about your questions. When I post those question stickers, if you have questions, make sure you drop it there because I'm doing a ton of content with that. I'm going to be answering a bunch of them today after this show. So make sure you go and you follow me over there and check out the Instagram stories. As much as I want to stay here and stroke my beard, we got an accountability meeting for Swole Enormous X members, so we're going to start that right now. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 1109 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Broadcast, Gaincast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. We are here tomorrow. Turn on your post notifications. We stream live here, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, everywhere. Second channel on YouTube, Daily Swole Podcast, if you want to catch the stream over on YouTube as well. And I'll see you tomorrow for episode 1110. A lot of ones tomorrow. 1110. A lot of ones in tomorrow's episode. Anyway, we're going to get it tomorrow, as always. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce, Magoose. Ya boy, Papa Swolio. Out.